Good evening, everyone. I am Jatin Chorasiya from UpgradeMore. Our today's session is about Google Dorking. Now I am introducing our very special guest, Ishan Shah. He is an amazing mentor with a lot of students. You can learn a lot of new fascinating things and concepts from him. One such concept is dorking. Stay connected till the end to great and get add skills to your career. For more information, visit our website and join our Discord channel. All the links are in the description.
So, shall we start? No.
Yes,
Yeah, sure. So, as I just explained, as just Tushar explained, so we are today going to talk about Google Docking. Now, what Google Docking basically means, we're going to start with that first of all. So, Google actually is a search engine, and how we use that search engine day to day in the day to day basis defines the different capabilities of what you can find in there. Now, using different techniques, Google docking techniques, you can actually limit or even refine your searches through which you can find very targeted and specific data that you want. Now, these are the advanced search techniques that are basically used in your uh, search commands, basically. So usually in docking, we have different limits of operators, such as in title or on in text or site or in URL. And using this, we can actually look into the different uh, results of a Google search. So I'll just show you a basic example. So this is a Google. Uh, this is a Google search bar. Okay. So let's suppose you want to find, let's say, something about cricket. So usually what people do is they simply search about cricket. Now this is what they get. Google has a very refined way to show and demonstrate different outputs here. But let's suppose you want to search about specific cricket match that was played in, let's say, 1987. So now if you look at here, you have how many? This many results. Now let's suppose you wanted to know about the different players. So to find that, you would simply add player list. Right. Now here you do get a player list from Kapil Dev, or Roger was there, or Sunil Gavaskar was there. But still, the amount of results that you have here is about this much. Now, it's not humanly possible to go through all of these results and to collect data. So Google did a very smart thing. They introduced keywords, specific keywords or tokens through which you can refine your search. So instead of doing all this, what you can actually do is you can use a keyword that is called in text. Now here you can simply search for cricket match 1987 player list. Now since this is the player list and you click on here, you have almost created half of the results here. So your results are getting refined. Now let's suppose you want that in a PDF file. So you can search something like this. File type is equal to PDF, or file type is equal to dot. Hmm. So it is even more refined now, and the best part here is if you scroll down, all you'll get is simple PDF files, and this will usually contain the list of players or something regarding to that specific keyword that we were searching for. As you can see here, so this is a very easy way to determine what you can look for in a Google search. Now, one of the good parts about this is, let's suppose you want to do proper research on, let's say, how to do SQL injection. And if you do something like that, okay. So this is something we as hackers usually face very, very often in OSINT. So here you can see you can get PDF files for SQL injection, right? Now what happens here is that these all files, we got only two results. Now these two files will be regarding your SQL injection. How can you do SQL injection in any specific part? So this is basically how your Google search engine works. Coming back to our motive. So I will start by explaining each and every operator one by one. Okay, so if you go with the first operator, that is your in title, what it does is it searches for a specific keyword like this or your keyword, and it looks for that in the title bar. So this is the title bar of any result in Google. So it will look for that specific keyword in your search result. So here you have it, SQL injection and how to do SQL injection. In every specific result, you will find this how to do SQL injection because that was our query. Okay, and we have about 197 results. So this is the power of Google Docking, through which you can actually limit down to the things that you require from Google search. So if you go down, so this is about your SQL injection. Now here comes a point that what would be the benefit of using this as a hacker. So the best part about SQL injection, or the best part about your Google Docking, is that you can use this specific uh, keywords to figure out information about your target. Let's suppose you have a target called evil.com. So here you can see this, or you can look for the different links in a website using your Google search. So here you have evil.com archive, and how many results are there? There are 741 links within that specific website. So you can even specify what you are looking for in title. Let's suppose you are looking for info. So there is nothing as info. About. Nothing as about. Admin. Nothing as admin. Uh, IP. Archives. Maybe archive. So you guys usually simply search for archives. There is a possibility, yeah, you will get something like this. But this is in URL, is not in the title. So there is nothing in your title regarding archives that you can verify. Now you can verify the same thing about different kind of websites also. So let's suppose you want to search for different government websites. You can simply list the government websites that Google already has a cache of. Okay, so this is here Jeevan Parman, then Ministry of Micro and Small Medium Enterprises, then Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. So you can list out different kind of things using this. Okay, so yeah, starting with entitle again. So what we do with entitle is we look for specific terms or your specific text within the title of your uh, sorry, within the title of your search. So let's suppose you want to look for something very unique that you won't usually find, or something. Let's suppose you want to find a book. So what you would go by is in title. Hmm, You go by this, and you can actually find the links that have that specific keyword in your title. Okay. Similarly, you have all in text, which basically is used to find this specific text inside your inside your web page or the web document, that is all in text. So if you go by this, you will have this many results, and it will have this specific keyword or these specific keywords within your search results. As you can see, every page that you open, you will find that specific keyword there. If you open, so this is Amazon. So you open anything, you will find that specific keyword there. Now, the point of this is, okay, let's go with the other part, that is in URL. Now we come to the interesting part in URL. How can you use URL? Let's suppose you are trying to find something inside a specific URL for a specific website. Let's suppose you want to find admin pages for, let's suppose, a specific website site, and we go with .gov.in or .pk for example. So here you can see there are 371 results which show that there is an admin PHP page inside one of your pages which has a which has a TLD of government.pk. So you can look for a lot of things using this. And then we have your file type. So the best part about, so how you use file type is, you want to search for a specific type of file which is cached by Google search engine or not. File type, let's suppose PDF, and then what do you want to search is, let's go with passwords. So, or even better, we'll go with Excel file, CSV. We'll go with CSV files, and here you have it. Zero results. So this is the file type for Excel. Now using this, you can actually find different passwords people have. So here you can see this Canva sheet. Let's hope there is a file. Hmm, Let me just open something else meanwhile. Huh. See, here you can find user login data. So here there is software passwords, then username and password is there. So we can try searching for this also. So opening how we get it. And then you have other user management. This is also an Excel file which has your passwords and everything. Hmm. So this is, I think, a password policy file. Not used for us. Hmm. Here you can see in this file that people have put their email ID and there is a password also. So this is the username and this is the password list. So you do find usernames here, you can find passwords here. You can so this is an admin console you can see, and this is for Gmail SMTP password. Okay, so you can find a lot of critical things here. So yeah, so this is the basic. The next one that we'll be going into is link, cache, and info. So sometimes what happens is, let's suppose you're searching for a specific web page which is not existing in a specific website anymore. Now you want to search for that specific web page. But again, Google has a cache of that specific page and you want to search into Google's cache itself. Here you can see this is a Tamil website and it has the password in something and that is being stored in your cache. Then we have other, so this is info. The info is very basic. You can simply search for something like info, Google, the name of the company, and it will give you personal information or basically information about whatever you search for. This is a very basic one. So Now comes the interesting part. What can you do with your Google Docking? So I'll give you a very genuine example. What actually happened with me back when I was in college, and I actually started with hacking and everything. Nobody used to believe me that I was into hacking. So what? So there was this one teacher of mine. She never believed that there is something like hacking or someone can actually hack her or something of that sort. So she did challenge me that you find something about me, because she was very confident that she has never put any of her confidential data online. So I just simply searched Google her name, okay, with a specific keyword in text. And just by simply Googling that, I was able to find that there is something like this departmental something, okay, and she works in the specific college. That is very easily. So here I could find her email address. That is anumitashukla@gmail.com. Using that in text, using that as another way to find something else, I was able to find this specific location of this specific PDF file. Now, what is this PDF file about? This is a philosophy panel, and here, as you can see, there are results, basically how much marks a person has obtained in the BA, MA, MPhil, and PhD. And also, there is their home address, then there is their mobile number, and then there is their email address. Using this, anyone can actually understand that yes, a hacker can get your home address also. So it's a very easy task to find a lot of information simply by googling the proper keywords. Okay, so after when I showed her that yeah, here is your home address, this is your phone number, and this is how much marks you obtained in your masters and PhD and everything, she was actually shocked that yeah, something like this can actually happen. Now, this was just one example. What else can you do with Google? So there is one Google Hacking Database, or GHDB for short. There is this website exploitdb, within which you can actually find a lot of things. You can find exploit codes and shell codes and everything. You can even find papers related to hacking, papers related to exploiting zero day vulnerabilities and everything. Here today we are interested in just GHDB, or Google Hacking Database, and here we'll search something. We'll search for something like password. Hmm. So what happens in GHDB is people, many uh, cybersecurity enthusiasts like me and everyone in this session, I guess. Usually, what they do is they try to figure out their own Google hacking, like uh, Google Doc. Basically, using that doc, what they do is they try to figure out how they can find something very important. Now, here, as you can go with one of these, or you can simply find. So this looks like a very juicy one. It says site pastebin.com index cpanel. So it's trying to find the cpanel details within a paste bin. Let's just open it, or you can just simply search it in title cpanel. If you search, okay. This is something very common that we hackers usually face, on a day-to-day basis. This search for Google. So here you can see cpanel contact changer, then you have cpanel disabled updates. Mm, there might be something password also, I believe. Yeah, see, you can see password reset is there. Digital guest user. Let's open this one. This one seems juicy. So here you can see there is specifically written username and it is specifically written password, and you have a password here. And this is for a cpanel. The cpanel is for this gaming-review.com cpanel. And you know what happens when you have access to cpanel. You can literally change anything. Let's see if this is still working or not, because there is a big possibility that someone might have changed it. Just out of curiosity, we are trying. We should not try this at all. Hmm. The site itself is not very good. Seems the site is down. And then we have something like this also. Let's see if this is helpful. Hmm. So you have cpanel username and you have cpanel password, and you also have your URL. And is my screen visible? Sure. Hmm. Yeah. Here you can see this is a cpanel, and we have everything here. We have MySQL passwords, we have FTP passwords, and cpanel passwords. So let's try. And I think the username is not working properly. No worries. We can find for something else also. Also, what you can find in Google Dorking is, I'll show you. There are a lot of things also you can find. Like you can find actually CCTV cameras in Google Docking. Hmm. So you have CCTV cameras here. Oh, we came to the exploit database instead. CCTV. Let it process. This is why I don't like Google Chrome. Basically, it's very slow. Even on a Mac, it seems tight. So you simply have to search for entity index of CCTV. Let's go with this. Hmm. This is an FTP. Every tech. Oh, that's nice. Not. There are even ways using which you can actually look into, I think, publicly available photos of people using Google. Uh, Google Drive photos and OneDrive photos also. That is also possible, depending upon what kind of permissions they have set. That is just a game of how you put this. It is in title index of camera. Simply copy this and paste it there. Hmm. Here, this is, I think, MP4. It's a video. Let's not open it. And access camera comes in title USHTML. And let's see what we get here. Okay, so I think okay, the image is loading. This it means that this is actually okay. This is a warehouse, I guess. This is okay. It's asking for a password, but it is still possible to look around this entire premise using the specific camera, which is open to public. So you can actually there is a very good possibility you can actually stalk. Here you can see there are desks here. You can actually look about people, and you can look a lot of things here. You can look for passwords, you can look for cameras, you can even look for vulnerable pages. So let's suppose you want to find specific vulnerable pages in URL cart.php question mark id is equal to. This is one of the things you can actually look into, and using this you can okay, you can check for SQL injection also. So seems very old website, I guess. Hmm. It is vulnerable. You can look for a lot of things. You can look for cameras, you can look for password files, and you can also look for like vulnerable web pages. Then you can use this to actually find username and password of the specific website if it has any admin credentials or admin login or not. So then we have OSINT. So yeah, just as I showed you, you can actually look for information, online documents, just like I told you about the teacher I was just discussing about. Found her home address and a lot of things. So you can look for those kind of details using Google Docking. So that is your open source intelligence. Now you have Google Hacking Data. We discussed that as well. So yeah, making custom docs. Now we come to the interesting part. So let's suppose you want to publish one of your exploits. What you can do is you can actually look for something which you feel is not here. Okay. And what you can do is you can just jumble up three, or not exactly jumble up, but you can patch on one uh, token with another token, and you can try to find very refined information. Let's suppose you want to, so in URL you want this card.php and you want to find a specific detail in text about, let's suppose, gaming products, uh, other than games, or even better, MMORPG game. Hmm, nothing. And here you have the specific card, and then there is computer games plus, then you have electronics. Yeah, so it is vulnerable, so you can actually find a lot of things here. This is here, right? See, it is vulnerable. So you can find a lot of things here which are vulnerable to a lot of vulnerabilities. Or you can even try XSS and everything. That is totally up to you what you find. So here you can even do one more thing. You can look for a specific uh, location. Let's suppose you want to go for .pk. There's nothing in pk. So let's go for .io. Nothing. You can go for com. So there are 9 results for a com website or a commercial website which is about games and everything, and it is about your cart. Basically it has a shopping cart.php. Or you can, this is an add to cart. I don't feel like it. Just as I was explaining, you can actually try to uh, try different combinations of things here. You can look for a lot of like you want to go with something like a Russian website or a Denmark website, DK Denmark. You can even go with, let's suppose, UK website. Yeah, see, you have something. You can go with a lot of things here. Let's go with this one. Hmm. Here you have this, you have a PHP ID and you have a tag ID also. Hmm. This website is also vulnerability. So this was the basic gist of basics of Google hacking. Like you go with GHDB, you can simply you try using, and the point here is that it comes very handy in day-to-day uses also. Plus, if you want to actually hack someone, or you want to try to stalk someone, or you want to find someone's details, or if you want to even verify some of the details, you can use this in a very good way. You can use this in a very let's in a negative way also. It's totally up to how you want to use it. And I think that is all from my end. Any questions? It is I'm sorry if I was going a bit fast. This is actually supposed to be a 30 minute session and I'm actually 8 minutes overdue. So any
Yes.
questions from
So,
anyone's side?
a very good evening from my side.
Mhm.
Yes. So, Ishan sir, we have a few questions from the YouTube live chat, and yeah. So, first of all, I would like to tell everyone just to be safe regarding this COVID scenario. Just wear masks. Be safe everywhere where you go. Yeah, so the first question, which has been asked by our moderator, sir, Mr. Udit Singh. Yeah, so he has this question: why we always attack Pakistani's websites?
So again, that is like, so if you're sitting in India and you try to actually attack an Indian website, there is a fair chance that police might come knocking your door. So just to be on a safer end, nobody's gonna question anything if you go with Pakistan or Bangladesh or even UK websites. That is it. And
Mm,
it's totally up to users' conscience what they want to do. It's not like I can come and tell them not to do this, not to do that.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So again, another question from our moderator, sir, Mr. Udit Singh. Can you please tell me about Log4j? I mean, this is a very really trending topic right now.
So Log4j actually is a vulnerability. What this does is it create so a lot of Apache applications that are running in your world or in the net, they are using a logger function which is basically written in Java. Now this function is vulnerable to injection. Now, what are you injecting? You are injecting payload, a specific payload, which actually redirects the internal application into your LDAP server. Using that LDAP server, you can redirect a specific class that you might have written or the attacker might have written in Java, and you can use that to run any command over the victim or the target. And how is this helpful? You can actually get a reverse shell. Once you get a reverse shell, you can actually try to escalate your privileges to the root or super admin user. Once you've done that, you have control to the web application server. Now you can go attack the Active Directory domains, or basically what you can do is you can try to elevate your privileges more and more and more, and you will eventually there will eventually come a point that you will have access to everything in a network. So this is why it is very, very important to be aware of such vulnerabilities, because these kind of vulnerabilities, these kind of zero-day attacks that come over, you there is no such prevention. This is a zero-day. Everybody was like in a rush to fix this as soon as possible. Even Apache itself released the uh, patch for this in a very hush hush kind of situation. Microsoft was vulnerable, SharePoint is vulnerable, a lot of things are
Hmm.
vulnerable. So even banks, like there are a lot of banks, I cannot name them. So these banks were vulnerable and a lot of things happened. So that is
So
there.
right now,
And
using like for a newbie
Google
if
Document,
he's
so
learning.
you can actually find your log4j exploits using Google Dorking.
Damn.
Let me just search. So this is the best part about this. You can actually, so what you can do is you can simply log4j exploit. Or you can say it's a simple Google search away. So we as hackers, we simply just do a Google search. You can, so not here. Let's search in here. Log4j. So in log4j, you just have to search for logger function itself. You can do that as well. There are a lot of things you can do. This might take a while. I
So
don't like to.
is it like if you use Log4j like right now for hacking other websites or running or getting
I
a
will
maybe
not
a
show
reserved
that. I will
TCP?
not show that. I will not
Okay,
show that.
okay. Okay, so yeah, so there is another question. Can we find some personal information using docking? I think the answer is yes, of course.
Yes, yes, yes. I just showed you how to find like home addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, and this was about someone who rarely uses internet to publish personal information. So if that is the case, then I suppose you can do all you have to do is you have to simply search your email address with the specific in text and abc at the rate abc.com. This is all you have to do, and you will find tremendous amount of information about yourself if you just go and do this. Okay,
Yeah,
and yeah, next question.
I mean, I just did that actually while I was listening to the. I just tried in text and I wrote my name and I saw that okay, I'm public many way. I mean, various areas I'm public. So yeah,
See, that's again, so this is an information error. So you will find a lot of data here, a lot of data there, and also there is a very, very big chance you will find your own passwords. All you have to do is in text, whatever your name is, let's suppose your name is ABC, and then all you have to do is you have to go with password, and then site go you can go with any copy pasting site, let's suppose pastebin.com. See, there are 119 results about ABC itself. Now if you put here Ishan Saha, I'm not sure what will come up. Okay, that's great. Nothing came up. Just go with Ishan. Hmm. Leak, Ministry of Physical Planning and Works. Here is a password hash, email address is there, Ishan at Hotmail. That's not me.
yeah. So we have
There are
another
families
question
like that.
from Urta Punjab, which is related to this. Uh, he
Okay.
asked that what is pastebin actually used for?
Pastebin is a website which usually helps anyone anonymously paste any sort of data. basically takes data, and they get a URL like this, and you can use this URL to actually get the same data anywhere else. So Pastebin is one of the websites. There are others also, like there is dpaste, and there is a lot of, so there are a lot of email addresses here, and there are password hashes and the password itself. Nice. Hackers like
Okay.
me and everyone, we like Pastebin because it's very famous, but there are a lot of websites.
Yes.
Pastebin. Yeah. In fact,
Okay.
you can find the same thing on like GitHub also. Anything else?
Yeah, so there are other questions also, but first I would like to ask, like, there is this thing going on that you are an OSCP certified. So people actually our viewers wanted to know, like, can you tell us more about your journey of how?
Yeah, so OSCP actually is one of the greatest certifications. So it's actually a very good certification if you are new to the hacking part, and it's very well represented. It's very well reviewed. Like a lot of people say, like yes, OSCP is a very good certification and everything, but it's a basic certification. And what what happens in OSCP, you start by simply hacking anything. You can start with just basic Linux, or you can go with web application. Then you learn how to hack and hack and hack. You learn how to hack a lot of things, literally. Like I currently have, I think, hack the box ranking. I have, let's see, I have the box ranking of 500 or 500 or something. I don't remember exactly. It will take a little bit time, I guess. Yeah. So I have a ranking of 527. So that's my global ranking on Hack the Box. So you can go with that. Then there are other, like one hub is there, TryHack is there. You do a lot of boot to root things, like a boot to root vulnerable machines you go with, and then you try to write your own exploits. I've written my own exploits. I have published my own exploits on ExploitDB. I have one uh, Google Doc also available. I think if you search by my name, I think it must be there. Ah, mm,
I mean, this is using Google, like the hacking database to find your own
yeah,
written.
so I have written a lot of exploits actually. It's just that after writing just one Google Doc, I was like, yeah, ho gaya, I don't want to do anything else apart from this. This one was enough to go get the hang of it, and then it's like one done, move on to the next part. Then it's actually a very fun ride to get an OSCP. I recommend anyone who go with this because it's actually good. So yeah, this is what I actually published. It was about database.sql in title index of, let's see.
Okay, there is another question. It is like, do you actually need any course to get, OSCP certified?
It's not like, so OSCP itself provides a course, not that it's any good, but yeah, they do provide their own course, which is, I think, enough if you have the right uh, set to do it. Otherwise, you can go with, like, there are PNPT, and there is Ethan Adams, and there are a lot of free tutorials out there. You can go with that also, or else you can just start reading any book you like, start with it, and start hacking. That's all. Any which is, you just have to start, and you just have to follow through. That is the best advice. Try harder.
Okay,
That is the
okay,
OCP
so
motto.
yeah, so there is another question. You must have got this. Did you ever got silly questions like, can you hack my girlfriend's account?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I actually, so this is not a very like rare thing for us. We get this on a day-to-day basis. Even now, I got this. So there was this one guy on Instagram. He pinged me and he was like, "Hi, I saw you're a hacker, and I wanted to like I wanted to hack my ex's boyfriend's account so that I can get my ex back. And I was like, no, bro, I'm not doing it. So I get this a lot, and yeah, it is. It's not like it's not doable. It is doable. I just did a phishing attack. So in a phishing attack, I created my old mail server. I sent out phishing emails. I actually got passwords for like 87 employees, and most of them were database admins and everything. So I think I did pretty good at phishing also. That is doable, and again, we should not do it. Respecting someone's privacy is a very, very important task.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, and I had a personal question, like from my side, I had a question. Like how many years are you like have you been to cybersecurity, and
So, in
how did all
cybersecurity,
this start? I mean,
it's a very, very good question. I actually started when I was back in my 12th standard. I started my programming in when I was back in. I moved to C++, which is a very common programming language when you're in 12th in CBSE board. So that was when I made my first virus. That was a simple restart virus, and I it used to copy the virus itself to the startup folder. So once you run the virus, then your then your uh, Windows machine will get into a reboot cycle, which will keep going and going. So that was the first time I learned, like, yes, there is something like hacking also. You can make your viruses, you can do reverse engineering, and you can do a lot of things. So taking that as a standpoint, I started working towards the goal that I have to be a hacker. Then I started with, so usually what people do is people take BTech or BSc, and I'd rather say I was smart for that. I did not take BTech. I went for a BA degree from Delhi University, and because it gives me a lot of time to practice. Like I have done other workshops also. I have done a lot of hacking tournaments. So I started doing hacking in around 12th standard.
okay. So yeah, okay. Now this is a nice question by Urta Punjab again. Yeah, he's telling that can you actually use Google Docking to get coupons? I mean, like Uber promotion codes.
It is possible actually. I'm not sure. I've never tried this actually, but it is possible. Let's see if it is possible, or you can just simply try here also in text. Let's see. Uh, let's go with the Excel file. And here we have Excel file. Okay, got this. I'm not sure what this is. Okay, coupon data. Credit. It is possible. Let's see what is this. And I have around 15,000. Hmm. Uh, nothing. Oh, let's go with this. Hmm. About 17 results. Excel file. Coupons. Tomato. Okay. This is something interesting. So, I would like to also tell you something like what.
Yes.
Hmm. So there is this one CTF for OSINT itself. What happens in there is hackers come, they try to find missing people. It's a live CTF. They try to find missing people and they get rewards against it. So if you are, so that's a genuine missing people's case. You will be helping out police in that, like the. Okay, if there are any coupons. Nothing. No, there you can find it, but I've not seen anyone here. You can
Yeah,
also look for.
I think we need to just, I mean, get into more time, and it involves a very timely, but I think you can get.
Yeah, yeah, it's possible. It's possible to get anything. You just have to be adamant enough. That's all.
Yeah, that's what.
Keep trying. It's like if one thing doesn't work, you try something else. You can go with PDF also. I type
Yeah.
6,000 online coupon. That is it. Any other queries as of now?
Okay, so there are other questions. How do we defend this?
Yeah. So defending this is a very, very tedious task. So, like, let's suppose, so you can also find Google Photos using Google Docking actually. So, what you have to do is you have to keep your data very, very private. First of all, don't just upload anything anywhere. Don't be stupid about that. Second thing is, let's suppose you have a website running or you have something. Do proper maintenance. Check everything. You have to be very, very cautious whatever you're doing, whatever you're writing. Then let's suppose there is a website and it's publishing your data and you don't want it to publish your data, you can simply write to them or mail them that this has happened and this is what you can do. So it usually works out. They remove your data, and there are a lot of government also nowadays are getting into this that they'll remove data. They are getting very. There are reforms for information security. A lot of things are happening. It is something that you can work with.
Okay.
Mm.
Yes, so I think that is the end of this session. Um, okay, so I would like to tell my viewers that if you have any queries, you can connect with us. You can connect with Upgrade More community. If you want to learn about what is reverse engineering, if you want to learn about other open source intelligent tools, you can surely connect with us. We have amazing trainers like Ishan Saha. I would like to thank you for this amazing event, and yeah, thank you for staying connected with us to everyone. And yes, be safe in this COVID times. And yeah, the this Omicron is again coming. So I think we should just be aware. If you want to connect with Ishan sir, you can connect with him over Twitter, LinkedIn. You can connect him over Discord also. We'll post our descriptions in the chat below. Yes, thank you for staying connected with us. Thank you. Learn more and upgrade more.
Okay. Thank you.